Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for watching. Today we're going to be doing a review on the new right angle drill, and this is from Ryobi from their One HP line. I've got to be honest, I've been waiting to buy one of these for a long time. I haven't been satisfied with the recent tools before this one, but this one is brushless. It's a 3/8 inch chuck, and it is a metal chuck. It doesn't look like a metal chuck, but under this nice matte black paint, it is metal. This is a metal casing as well, and it does rotate in case you hit it with it. It's not going to damage as much. It is a variable speed trigger, and it's two settings. You have first speed, second speed. First speed obviously is for torque. Second speed is for the high speed. First one is 0 to 450 rotations per minute. If you put it on the second speed, that's going to be 1700 rotations per minute, and it is a variable speed trigger, and it's pretty nice because the trigger is pretty long, so you have different abilities for leverage if you're pushing down, depending on where you're at. You know, what are these most used for? It's used for tight space work is what it's used for. Specifically, I would use a tool like this if I'm running a gas line or something like that, getting up between joists. And the limitation is probably the bit, right? So depending on how far you can get the bit, whether it's a paddle bit, you know, it's just a regular Phillips, or it's a drill bit, and how big is the screw that you're going to use. I mean, that's all variables. That's not something that we can really control. That's based upon your job and what you're actually trying to accomplish. Something like this, the motor's down here, so you have gears that turn, and that's what controls the torque with these. The torque for this is 350 inch-pounds, so it's not as beefy, and it's not as big, and it's not as torquey as the typical regular drill. However, you know, this is something that's going to work in those tight spots. The grip feels good in your hand. The black rubber overmold is, you know, it feels like it's made for my hand. You know, I don't have the, you know, Andre the Giant hand, so I have the typical wear size large glove, and it feels good in my hand. So you know, a couple other things about it. It does have a light, and the light is at the chuck, and that's something that I really like. I know I gave Ryobi a pretty bad rap on these new tools. This is not one of those tools. That's more along the new Impact line of rebranding. I think they did improve with this tool. It's smaller, it can fit in spaces. The light is at the chuck itself, so you're not going to get as many shadows. Something that, you know, they're going to improve upon at some point. They're going to put the mag tray here so that you can store your bits, and they're going to have a bit holder. This is sold as a single tool. Doesn't come with a battery. Not that I've seen, and something that I didn't get with mine is a belt holder, a belt clip. So I don't know, they used to come with all of them. I don't know why it didn't come with this one. Something else that I noticed as well is that there are no HP battery connections down there. So something you see on the back of these batteries, that they're actually not going to be there. And the reason why is apparently the motors have it built in, kind of like what Milwaukee does. So I'm not really going to knock them on that. I'm going to take it for what it is. I'm going to trust what they say in their engineering, and I'm going to use it. And it's going to be good because I've tested it out before. So what am I going to put this through today? Oh, let me give you a part number on this. This is a funny one. So this part number is PSBRA02CN, which, and I'll read that back to you, PSBRA02CN. That's new to me. It's I guess they're going for a new line once with, you know, your model numbers. That's how they can identify it, the manufacturer. So we're going to start off. I know this isn't a super torquey tool, but we're going to put it to the test. I'm going to drive two 4-inch coarse screws, and I know this seems easy, but you're going to see where we're going to put it in a minute. I'm going to try I don't expect it to actually do it, but this is an 8-inch timber screw. We're going to try and put this through a 8-inch joist. And then just for the heck of it, this is a 1 1/8 inch paddle bit. And we're going to put a couple holes through some wood, and I fully expect it to do this. I just don't know how fast it's actually going to work. So let's get to the test, and you'll see what I'm going to put these 4-inch screws in, and hopefully it actually does it. It's a 6-inch wet wood, so I really want to put this thing to the test, and let's see how it works. Okay, so first up is the 8-inch timber screw. This is a 5/16. I'm going to start out on the torque setting, so just on 1, because I feel like this is going to give it a pretty big run for its money here. What? Wow, that is surprising. Next up is the paddle bit. I'm putting this setting on the high. I think I'll just drill 3 holes, see how it goes. I was impressed with the first one. Ooh. All right. Did not expect that. All right, I'm going to have to switch to the torque setting. On the 1 torque setting, it works fantastic. So I'm not too worried about this one. I'm going to put it on the high setting, see how fast we can get through. This is a really dense log. It's wet. So I cut it down a few months ago, but it's been sitting in the winter, so it's really sealed in the moisture inside of it. So let's first try it on the high setting. Like I said, I'm not too worried about it. Maybe I should have been worried about it. All right, number 1 setting again. Oh. Wow, that just snapped the bit right off. Okay, let's try this again. This time on setting 1, I have another bit. Hopefully I don't break it. If I can't get it in and out with this one, I'm going to have to get the impact. All right, let's try the impact, everybody. All right, not gonna mess around. This is the P238. It's the best impact that is made by Ryobi, or Ryobi. Thank you for people correcting me. That's fine. Let's see if we can't just back this out just a little bit. Nope. Nope. What about go in? Nope. Nope. Okay. I've destroyed 2 Philip number 2 bits. And this is some, like I said, this is tough stuff. I wasn't really worried about it, but I guess I should have been worried about it. This is not going in. Okay, so that was embarrassing. For good measure, let's go ahead and put a 4-inch screw into these 2x4s here. Got a few stacked up. I am doing this on number 1 setting once again. No problem in this wood. I had never had this happen before. I have to say, for this little guy right here, it did amazing. I don't think speed number 2, the fast speed, is really the bit or the speed that you want to work with this tool. I think speed number 1, which is the high torque, is the one that you want for this, because the RPMs at 450 are still plenty. It works very well, and it gets the job done. And I can't really say any more about that. Something I also noticed during the test is that this chuck is plastic. I thought it was metal, but I hit it on some metal and it just kind of smushed over. So that's something to also consider. You know, plastic there, and it has this little kind of tin, very thin metal on the front, which rotates independently, so it doesn't get marred up. But I have to say, for the tool, its performance, I'm very impressed. You saw that it did drive the 4-inch screw with no problem into the 2x8. You saw that this drove an 8-inch timber screw all the way through the 2x8 without any issues, forward and back. So I really, and the paddle bit, the 1 1/8 inch paddle bit, it drove through the 2x8 as well with no problems. In fact, I made 3 holes and it was a champ. It just powered through it. So at the end of the day, I do recommend this tool. I think it's a great tool. I think they're going to come out with a better one, you know, probably next year or the year after. But for now, this is the tool to get. It didn't overheat. It really didn't bog down except within this, and I lost 2 bits on it too. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Have a good one, everyone.